Oh, say
How old were
can
you?
you?
I was probably 14.
You doing this?
This was those were cheer moves, but then 50 Cent went and posted it on his Instagram and said, damn, I want to tear that hashtag all of his alcohol brands, hashtag like Wild Wind Phase. My dad was like, I'm finna get it taken down. What is you finna go? Instagram HQ? Bro, so we just had to wait for 50 Cent to realize everything.
I'm gonna punch you in your mouth, your throat, and your solar plex. Then I'm going to throw you on the ground and commence to stomping your face into the cement.
It took a lot of time for us to dig in and to kind of make sense of this story and to put this timeline together.
Yeah, and there's like some never before seen footage that I'm going to talk to you about in just a moment.
Everybody loves watching someone play judge, jury, and executioner, especially when the target is already drowning in scandals, but the energy shifts real fast when the spotlight spins back around. 50 Cent has been loud, calculated, and relentless, calling out Diddy, posting slick captions, throwing shade, and moving like he's exposing hidden truth for the culture. But now the internet saying that same mirror might be cracking right in his face. And IG Baddie just shook the timeline by stepping forward with claims that flipped the whole narrative, saying 50 isn't some clean-handed truth teller, but someone who's been playing the same power games for years, just in a quieter, more strategic way. According to her, this isn't about clout or chasing attention. It's about how certain stories never come out because the people involved feel pressured, cornered, or flat out scared to speak. She didn't tiptoe around it either. She straight up claimed that behind the jokes, memes, and tough talk, there's a long history of intimidation, silent control, and backdoor moves that people in the industry know about but don't talk about. She says when 50 beefs with someone, it's never just music or business, it's personal, and the consequences stretch way further than fans ever see. Once she dropped that bomb, the internet did what it always does. Old interviews got pulled up, past rivalries got re-examined, and folks started saying certain fallouts suddenly make way more sense now. Some fans rushed to defend him, calling her bitter and thirsty, but others weren't so quick to dismiss it, saying, "This been whispered for years, and power protects people until it doesn't."
My car was in front, Biggie was in the middle, and then another security vehicle was behind, which had the off-duty officers in. And we left out of the driveway of the parking lot, and we made a right. And as we made the right, we were just driving, and the vehicles were one behind each other. And I was looking straight ahead, basically, and I just heard ring out. And then I heard somebody say Biggie's car had got at. And so, like, while my car was moving, I had just opened the door, and the driver, he stopped, and I had jumped out, and I had ran to the car. And I had immediately did that because I knew his leg was broke, so I know there's no way he could have made it out of the car. And then when I went there, I opened up the door, and he was hunched over, and was trying to talk to him and trying to move him over. And I was trying to tell somebody to call 911, but I just told one of the drivers of security to just jump in the car, just take me to the nearest hospital, please.
That's bad. Go Diddy.
What really set things off is how bold she sounded. She said she already knew the backlash was coming, already knew people would try to discredit her, and already knew her name would get dragged, but she still posted anyway. That confidence alone made people lean in harder. She even said, quote, "He's not exposing monsters, he's just better at hiding." And that one line sent shockwaves through comment sections everywhere. Again, these are allegations, not proven facts, but once the conversation starts, it doesn't just disappear. The timing makes it worse too, because while 50 is busy pointing fingers at everybody else, folks now asking if that's really accountability or just control of the narrative. Now people are side-eyeing everything. Old jokes feel colder, old beefs feel darker, and that whole untouchable mastermind image doesn't look as solid anymore. Whether this IG Baddie is telling the full truth or just part of it, the damage comes from doubt, and doubt spreads faster than receipts. In this industry, power talks loud, silence gets bought, and when someone finally speaks up, even whispers can sound like thunder. As the noise kept getting louder, the situation stopped being just gossip and turned into a full-blown credibility war. People weren't just reacting emotionally anymore, they started asking uncomfortable questions that never used to get asked out loud. Why so many burned bridges? Why so many artists claiming they got blocked, blackballed, or humiliated after crossing him? Why does every fallout somehow end with 50 on top and someone else disappearing from the scene? The IG Baddie leaned into that energy heavy, saying the pattern is the story, not just her experience. She claimed power doesn't always look violent or obvious. Sometimes it looks like contracts drying up.
They invited me back up, and this time I was up there for a couple of hours just going in, bro. And at the end of that, that's when Diddy actually spoke to me. He came up and was like, yo, my man, yo, we like you a lot, bro. Would you be interested in doing this with us again? And I was like, yeah.
One of those interviews is with Danity Kane's singer Aubrey O'Day, who in an emotional scene reads an affidavit from a woman saying she walked in on O'Day being assaulted by Combs and another man in 2005.
You realize the burden that puts on my soul for the past year, the weight of that man and his I will never get up from under it.
Phone calls not getting returned, and doors quietly closing while the public laughs it off as just beef. She also pointed out how fear works in the industry. According to her, people don't speak because they know how ruthless reputation warfare can get. She says when 50 targets someone, it's not just jokes. It's a slow grind meant to embarrass, isolate, and break people down publicly until nobody wants to stand next to them. Fans started replaying old moments with fresh eyes, realizing how often laughter masked cruelty. Again, nothing here is confirmed, but the conversation shifted from she lying to what if there's more to this, and that's when things get dangerous for any public figure. What really messed with people's heads is how calm she stayed through the chaos. No frantic posting, no backtracking, no apologies. She said she already expected threats, already expected fake stories to pop up about her, and already accepted that once you speak on powerful people, you don't get protected.
Oh, say can
How old were you?
you? I was probably 14.
You doing this?
Those were cheer moves, but then 50 Cent went and posted it on his Instagram and said, damn, I want to tear that shit up. Hashtag all of his alcohol brands.
That level of acceptance made some viewers uncomfortable because it felt real, not rehearsed. She even said, quote, I'm not trying to win, I'm trying to tell it. And that line stuck with a lot of folks scrolling late at night. Now the internet split straight down the middle. One side saying this is a clout play meant to ride controversy. The other saying this is exactly how truth leaks out, messy, imperfect, and through people nobody wants to listen to. And while 50 hasn't directly responded, his silence is loud to some and strategic to others. Every post he makes now gets dissected, every joke gets analyzed, and every move gets questioned. When power meets suspicion, even silence becomes suspicious. At the end of the day, this situation shows how fast the narrative can flip. 1 minute you're the loudest voice calling out corruption, next minute people asking if you've been part of it the whole time. In this game, nobody's hands stay clean forever, and once the internet smells contradiction, it never lets go. Whether this story fades or explodes further, one thing's clear: the crown feels a lot heavier when the crowd starts looking up instead of cheering.